Hello beehives, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about flight attendant pay. I know everybody want to know, oh my gosh, how much money do I make? Yeah. All right, so some airlines start out from $20 to $32 an hour. You may say, oh my gosh, $20 to $32 an hour is a lot of money. It sounds like a lot of money, but you have to remember that you're not working a 9 to 5, that you're not working 40 hours a week. So it's totally different. A 9 to 5 person gets an average of 8 days off a month, while a flight attendant, the minimum days off they get is 12 days off a month. Sometimes you may get more days off a month. For me, this month I got 17 days off this month, and for next month I'm getting 15 days off next month. So you see how, so you won't get, and it doesn't count on a hourly base, if that makes sense to you guys. It does not paid on an hourly base. So that's what most airlines start out between $20 and $32 an hour. After you pass your probation, I believe you get a little raise, which is nothing crazy. I believe it's like $1, a couple cents, something like that. When it comes to your pay, now this goes to every airline. Make sure that you know how to calculate your pay, because when it comes to the system or the machines, sometimes machines make certain errors and you got to be able to catch certain errors. So definitely make sure that you have your schedule, at the end of the month, and you count up your hours and it matches what your pay is supposed to be. Because sometimes you're going to be going through, say, a cancellation or a weather storm or something, and you're flying more hours, or you lay over for more days and stuff like that, and the system might not pick up certain things, so or correct certain things. So you definitely want to make sure you calculate your pay, because if not, then yeah, the company gonna be giving more money than you. I'm sorry, that's just with every airline. Every airline, doesn't matter what system, does make error. That's it. They do make error. Pay. So you have say you have a 2-day trip, right? You're going away for 2 days, and everything is going to start from your base and is going to return back to your base at the end of the trip. So it's not like, okay, I live in Florida and your base is in Vegas. You're not going to leave from Florida from your trip. No, you're going to commute, which on your own time, come into Vegas, and then your trip starts in Vegas, which means you're gonna have to clock in Vegas, meet your crew members in Vegas, and then go to wherever you need to go. And then the last day, which is the second day, you come back to Vegas, because that's where your base is. It's always gonna start from your base and end in your base. Sometimes in the middle of trips, they'll give you like turns that will say Vegas to LA, LA to Vegas, Vegas to Oakland, and you lay over in Oakland. So that's normal. So a 2-day trip, say a 2-day trip's worth 9 credit hours. So you say 9 credit hours times 20. That's what you'll get paid for, the 9 credit hours times the 20. All right, so 9 credit hours, that's for the 2-day trip, which is 9 credit for that 2-day trips, and your pay hour is $20 an hour, which technically is not $20 an hour, but you see what I'm getting at. You times your pay hour times the 9 credit hours for the trip, and you get $180. Now that's what you're gonna get paid for that 2-day trip, $180. Now you do also get they call it per diem. If your per diem, say your per diem is $2, and that time away from base with that 2-day trip is say 20 hours time away from base, right? So you're gonna do 20 times the $2, which is your per diem, and you're getting $40. So that $40 added on to your 180, which is gonna be $220 for that trip itself. So $220 you're gonna get for that trip itself, for that 2-day trip. You do get things like, if you make any sales on board, you get a percentage off it, like little stuff like that. But those are not on your pay stub. Those are different from a different company. So you get like a card, and you use that card when you have a certain amount in your account. But based off the company, like your paycheck, your W-2 is your per diem and your credit hours. Let me give you another example. Say you have a 3-day trip, and a 3-day trip is 13 credit hours. Remember, you're gonna leave from your base, and then the third day you're gonna come back to your base. So we said if the 3-day trips is 13 credit hours, 13 credit hours times your 20 hours, $20 an hour, which is going to be $260. Say your 3-day trips per diem, which is time away from your base, is still $2 an hour, $2 an hour, and the per diem away from your base is, say, 36 hours. So you do 36 hours times your 2, which is $72 added on to your credit hours. So that's how you basically make your money. And when you punch in, you're not getting paid when you punch in. You punch in stating that you're telling the company that I am here, I am present, I am not late, I show up on time. That's basically what you're telling the company. Now, when you go to the aircraft and you do your checks and then you boarded the plane, you're still not getting paid during that time when you're leaving your base. That's why you see a lot of flight attendants, they do minimal stuff on flight. And when it comes to lifting up people luggages, liability reasons, because technically you're on the clock but not really on the clock, but it's kind of one of those things. So lifting people luggage, you don't do it by yourself. You do it with two people, the person who's bringing their luggage and you, so that you don't get more injured. And trust me, those bags are heavy as heck. The bags be heavy. And even as a flight attendant, you do get back injury just by bringing your own luggage. So you may say, oh my gosh, I'm fine, whatever. After like 6 months, your back gonna start hurting you. Your back gonna start hurting. You're gonna start having back problems for sure. So you gotta be careful with that. Don't be lifting stuff by yourself, especially heavy stuff by yourself. When the plane aircraft door is closed and it pushed back from the gate, that's when your pay start kicking in. Yeah, that's when your pay start kicking in. You do have to come to the airport an hour, an hour if you're in base, an hour before your flight takeoff. So you gotta punch in an hour before the flight takeoff and go to the gates and all that kind of stuff. Now if you're away from base, I believe it's 50 minutes. You gotta show up to the gate 50 minutes before takeoff time. So yeah, so all those things. This is why a lot of people, when they come to the airline industry and they realize, oh my gosh, I'm not getting paid for this or that, what the heck, you know, they're like, man, I left my job but I had a huge pay cut. Yes, and a lot of times they don't understand certain things until they get into the airline industry. So that's why I'm giving you this information now. Good thing is that with your pay, you can always pick up hours. So when you pick your schedule, they're gonna be like, say maybe 400 lines, 500 lines, and you go from what schedule you want, from if you want a line holder all the way to reserve. Normally when you just start, you're not gonna get a line. That's probably not gonna get a line until after a year, 2 years, depends. If you're on reserve, you pick your reserve schedule, which one of the reserve schedules you want. On your reserve schedule, again, you're gonna get at least minimum probably 12 days off a month, and the rest you're gonna be working. There are a couple of days that's within those days off that is for the company itself, that they can use you on those specific days. It's not your guaranteed days off. Those are company time that they can use you on. They don't have to use it, but they can use you. So it's not really your guaranteed days off. So you definitely have to be mindful of that. You can't say no, because again, that's company time, company day off, not company day off, but that's company slot, if that makes sense. That's really how the scheduling part goes. I love to be honest, if you're gonna deal with time zone, let's talk about time zones. I know a lot of people don't talk about time zone, East Coast, West Coast, they're different time zones. Every state have their own different time zones. Now Vegas is 3 hours behind Fort Lauderdale and 2 hours behind Houston. So you see how that time zone is, and I forgot what other state is Vegas an hour behind. I forgot what other state it is. But yes, you're gonna go to different time zones. So if you're not from like Florida or Vegas or Dallas or one of those places, then your body gonna have to be able to adjust. And when I tell you, when your body trying to adjust during those time zone, it's very tiring. very, very tiny. But we can talk about that on another video if you guys want me to. We're gonna stick to pay part of it and schedule. So with the scheduling part, when crew scheduling call you, you gotta make sure you answer the call. If you don't answer the call within a certain amount of minutes, I think it's 15 minutes, you gotta call them back. You gotta call them back within 15 minutes. If not, they're gonna classify you as a no-show or no call, something like that. I don't know what the codes are, but they're gonna classify you as no call or no show, something like that. So you have 15 minutes after they hang up to call them back. But yeah, you can't refuse a trip at all. If you're refusing the trip, then that's a ding for you. Make sure that you don't drink before your trip. Drink liquor before your trip, because you might get a random drug testing or alcohol testing, or you may in the air and you really feeling a little bit too hyper or a little bit too much, because alcohol does that to you in the air. But yeah, that's really the most stuff about your schedule. Oh, during your reserve time, you say if you're from midnight to 10 a.m. people's like, oh my gosh, do I stay up? I didn't stay up on my 12 to 10 a.m. Oh no, I love my beauty sleep. What I did, I put my phone on loud. I make sure to turn up the ringer, and I put it on the highest volume ever, and I put it right at my pillow on my bed, on my ears, on my pillow. So when crew scheduling called me, I could hear it. And I just answered, but I was knocked out, like literally knocked out. But I could hear it. I make sure it stay right here, so when it ring, I can answer it. Yeah, half the time I sleep. I didn't stay up, because imagine you stay up from 12 to 10, and then you have a flight to do at say 11 a.m. You're gonna be tired as heck, and they called you like 2 hours before the report time. You're gonna be exhausted. And it's gonna be a 5-hour flight. Oh no. Just make sure your ringer is on, and you have it right beside your bed, your pillow, and you're good. Well, that's just me. Everybody's a little different. Okay, so yeah, so you have 2 hours before they call you to go to the airport and check in. You got a 2-hour window. Most times you have a 2-hour window. Sometimes you have more than 2 hours, but a lot of times they'll give you a 2-hour windows. So you have to make sure that your bag is packed, your lunch is already prepared and stuff. And we can talk about how to save money when it comes to lunch, bringing your own lunch and stuff like that. We can talk about that, because trust me, you're not bringing lunch, you're gonna spend a whole lot of money, like, and you're not even gonna get paid right away at all. So don't even do it. All right, so say example your pay, we get paid twice a month. With every airlines, you get paid twice a month. Say it's on specific days. Say example you get paid on the 10th and on the 20th. So every month you get paid on the 10th and the 20th. So say you start in April, right? And the pay is from the 10th. You get paid on the 10th and the 20th. So the days that you work are gonna be on the 10th, which is 37 hours, gonna be on the 10th. You can get 37.5 hours. You're gonna get paid for that on the 10th, and then 37.5 hours you get paid for that on the 20th. Now when May comes on the 10th, you're gonna get paid your overtime that you make in April and your time away from base in April on May 10th paycheck. That's how it is. It's weird, it's confusing, but that's how it is. Now on the 20th of May, you're gonna get all the rest of your 37.5 hours, and it goes on like that. So you're always kind of like a month behind when it comes to your overtime, your time and a half, and your time away from base. Hopefully that helped you guys which when it comes to schedule and pay. If you guys have any questions, you can comment below, and don't forget to subscribe, click the notification button. I know it's gonna be a little bit confusing for you guys, but eventually when you start working as a flight attendant, you get what I'm trying to say to you. Click the notification button, and see you guys next time. Bye.